How you doing? I'm Callan and this is Slapped Ham. Today we're looking at some super scary video clips that may just give you nightmares. But as always, before we dive in, remember to hit that subscribe button and get ready for more creepy content. Just like this. For many security guards working at nighttime, shifts go by relatively quiet as most of the world's sleeping. Unfortunately, this wasn't the case for one unlucky security guard working in a nursing home in Chicago. YouTube user The Hidden Underbelly 2.0 shared Officer Jay Brown's story of meeting with something creepy during what was supposed to be just another shift. In the video, the security guard shows CCTV footage taken during his shift. In the footage, the guard is sitting at his desk and all seems quiet. But then, something eerie happens. We can see what looks to be a nearly transparent white shape floating over the carpet that lays in front of the entrance to the building. The security guard sits back against his chair, obviously perplexed. He stands up for a few seconds before putting his arms up and pointing to the camera.
And I'm like, okay. So I looked at the camera, I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna calm down. So I wanted to tell the camera, y'all see that? Y'all saw that, right? I'm telling.
The security guard explains via voiceover that he wanted to ask those viewing the camera if they had just seen what he had seen, which is why he raised and moved his hands.
So I wanted to tell the camera, y'all see that? Y'all saw that, right? I'm telling CHA, did y'all see that? Okay.
Here's the footage in slow motion with a close-up of the eerie, ghostly figure. This means the security guard saw the strange anomaly in person as it passed through the lobby, and the video evidence certainly backs this up.
See, I saw that.
Commentators of this video were certain that this footage showed a real ghostly appearance. They also stated that the security guard's reaction seemed genuinely shocked. There were a number of suggestions thrown around as to what the shape could be, including a spirit of a person roaming the building, a ghostly animal, or even the idea of a demon. So what do you think? Given the guard's reaction, coupled with the video evidence, makes this a compelling piece of footage, one that may provide a glimpse into the afterlife. Of all the places where one might think to see paranormal activity, a nightclub is probably not high on the list. These locations are usually hotspots for bad dancing, overpriced booze and loud music, but not so much for supernatural sightings. However, this footage captured at the Attic nightclub in the UK appears to show that nowhere's safe from ghostly goings-on. The venue's general manager says he's heard rumours of inexplicable activity happening in the club, but has never seen anything for himself. That is, until now. Take a look. The footage shows an empty room, seemingly filmed after the club's been closed for the night. Suddenly, a sign in the middle of the floor falls over. This is soon followed by a mysterious orb that streaks through the air. A few seconds later, a bar stool begins to move before toppling over. The manager of the club said that although he thought the footage was spooky, he wouldn't mind buying this spirit a drink. He believes that not all ghosts are bad, and some can actually be good if treated right. This is truly a creepy piece of footage, and one that can't easily be explained. While the sign and stool's movements could be caused by someone pulling strings off camera, the bizarre glowing orb is not so easily dismissed. Often, orbs caught on camera can be explained as insects or dust particles moving close to the lens. However, some proponents of the supernatural swear that these orbs are paranormal in origin. It seems that in this case it's hard to deny, because of the other events that have also been caught on camera. So what do you think this video shows? Genuine ghostly activity, or is there another way to explain this spooky footage? Love to hear your opinion in the comments section below. You'd think being a security guard in a clothing store would be a tame job. You certainly wouldn't think it would result in anything scary happening. However, Instagram account Unanswered Universe has shared a video that might make you think twice about what goes on in shops when no one's looking. This footage was taken from a security camera that appears to be placed high up near the ceiling in a clothing store. From the very start of the footage, we can see a security guard slumped over in a chair in the corner of the shop. Clearly this man was meant to be keeping an eye on the otherwise unoccupied store. Unfortunately, he seems to have fallen asleep on the job. Little does he know he's about to experience a very rude awakening. Straight away, something falls off the shelf. The guard doesn't seem to notice, but what happens next will freak you out. As you can see, the guard gets dragged across the floor by his foot. He manages to break away and crawl back towards his chair, but whatever's attacking him regains a hold and starts pulling him across the floor again. Some skeptics believe the man's reaction to the attacks indicate the video's fake. After all, why would you stick around after being dragged across the floor by an invisible force? When he walks back the first time, it looks like he's overacting. However, the man's movement across the floor would be impossible for him to perform on his own, and any string strong enough to pull him across the floor would be hard to hide from the camera. Was this innocent though careless security guard attacked by a resident ghost, or was it indeed a prank? Let me know what you think in the comments section below. According to YouTuber Christian AVR, recording creepy videos in the place where he works isn't unusual. The place often experiences bizarre events that occur without explanation, and on this occasion he was lucky enough to catch it on camera. In this clip, the YouTuber is working in a former dining hall that is now used occasionally for special events. He writes that the room is generally only occupied once per week and only for a few hours at a time. The room is large and vacant, only containing a few tables with chairs stacked on top of them. The YouTuber is working alone in the empty room when he begins to hear strange noises. These noises are not unusual, at least not in this seemingly haunted location, but he decides to grab his camera in hopes of capturing evidence of a possible haunting. After recording for a few seconds, something happens. A small stool that's been tucked away under a table begins to slowly slide across the floor. Mierda. It moves several feet before coming to a stop. Mierda. So who or what could have caused such an eerie phenomenon? In the video's comments, the YouTuber indicates that there's a medical facility right next to the building where the dining hall operates. People often live their final days in medical facilities, so it's possible that the spirit of a deceased resident has made its way into the dining hall and is causing a bit of a mischief. The YouTuber states that the bizarre incidents have continued to this day, but the staff of the facility are no closer to an explanation. Mierda. This video was captured by Mr. Huang in Taiwan in August of 2017. It took a while for the creepy figure in this video to be noticed. Many creepy encounters go unnoticed by those who capture them. For the Huang family, it took them years to see the disturbing figure that made an appearance in a family video. It's likely the family lived with this supernatural being for years without knowing. While reviewing some old footage of his daughter dancing at his in-laws' home, Huang noticed a distressing figure in the background. If you slow the footage down, it looks to be either a woman with long hair facing the opposite direction, or a dark, featureless figure. While the family's unsure why such a figure would pay them a visit, Huang later learned that the daughter of his in-law's neighbour was buried that same day. Apparently the girl's funeral was being held in the neighbour's house right as this footage was being taken. Mr. Huang told several media outlets that he was certain he was home alone with his daughter that day and that no one else was in the room. The family's unsure if there's a connection between this strange figure and the deceased neighbour, but the ghost's disturbing appearance has left some viewers hoping the spirit is friendly either way. This chilling footage, which appeared on the popular news website The Mirror, was captured by a man named Chad Gassert. The short clip shows a glass cabinet that contains several of his wife's creepy dolls. As the camera focuses closer, one of them suddenly moves.
Oh boy, we out of here. Nope.
Gassert, who claims that he had already witnessed the dolls move prior to capturing this footage, ran to his bedroom in terror after filming the event. After the article was posted, several viewers noted that they believed they could see a chilling pair of eyes directly behind the dolls.
Oh boy, we out of here. Nope.
Could the dolls have been possessed by some sort of poltergeist or demon? As Gassert claims this is not the first time he's seen the odd Annabelle-like behaviour from these dolls, viewers can likely be sure it will not be the last either. Do these creepy dolls have sinister intentions for Gassert and his family? Perhaps only time will tell.
Oh boy, we out of here. Nope.
This peculiar haunting was uploaded by GI Try TV. The mysterious footage seems to have captured something truly bizarre. The video opens up with a rather messy workshop. There are various items strewn about the room without the camera focusing on anything in particular. There isn't a single sign of human activity within the entire warehouse. After a few seconds, something eerie and unexplainable occurs. Starting from the right side of the screen, there's a small white line about the width of a can making its way into view. It flows through the air in a long, thin line before making its way out of the doorway to the left. It then curves almost like a snake or bullet train banking around a corner. It's translucent and at least 10 feet long. Just as soon as it arrives, the mysterious apparition leaves and nothing's left in its wake. Even more bizarre is the fact that certain parts of it are more solid than others. Could this indicate there are multiple ghosts travelling in a row, or perhaps their souls following each other and are connected in some way? In this video, a shadow figure makes an appearance in yet another seemingly normal place, this time in a hallway of a regular home. What makes this particular video more spine-chilling is the fact that an innocent baby may have been involved, as shared by YouTuber Captured Camera TV. We see what appears to be a hallway of a normal residential home. Soon after the clip starts, we hear a violent banging sound. Seconds later, we see something unusual. Take a look. A dark shadow appears on the left side of the wall. The figure seems to travel down the hallway with its shadow appearing on the right wall as it makes its way down the hall. We then see the shadow figure go into a room on the right-hand side. After a few moments, the shadow entity reappears briefly outside of the door again, while a baby begins to cry. As the video goes on, the baby's cries turn into loud screams until the baby ceases to make noise. We then see the shadow figure re-emerge and leave down the hallway. The fact that the baby started howling when the shadow figure entered the room is certainly eerie timing. What could the figure have done to the baby while it was haunting the room? Or could the baby's cries not be related to the figure at all, and instead be pure coincidence? There's been no explanation for what's happening in this clip, so we can only make assumptions for ourselves. As usual, I'll throw this out to you, the audience. Let me know what you think's happening in this eerie video, then let us know down in the comments. Thanks to YouTube, paranormal fans can see more creepy ghost videos featuring poltergeists than they ever thought possible, such as this video captured by YouTuber JCG Dragon. Unlike many videos of playful spirits, this one doesn't have a light-hearted ending. This video starts in the midst of panic. Our YouTuber is sitting up, presumably in bed, pointing a camera at the door while fighting back tears. Even if you don't speak her language, it's clear that something terrifying is happening by the fear in her voice. As she stands up to investigate, the bedroom door suddenly flies shut, much to her terror. The slam of the door is followed by unexplained banging coming from outside the room. She tearfully heads into the hallway just in time to see her keys and some books fly off a table and clatter to the ground.
¿Quién sos?
She bravely continues to explore the room. As she investigates, several more banging noises echo through the house, seemingly coming from behind her. Then the house is suddenly pitched into darkness as every one of the lights shuts off.
No.
We can hear her crying out in terror for a few seconds before the video ends.
No me dejan en paz. Ay, no.
What happens after the woman is plunged into darkness is unclear. Is this another case of a playful poltergeist just trying to scare a vulnerable human? Or was this a spirit with more malicious intentions? Love to get your opinions on this one in the comments section below. Hospitals are considered by many to be hotspots for wandering spirits and ghosts, as they see a lot of death in their halls. One particular hospital in Peru is said to be home to multiple hauntings that simply can't be explained any other way. In one video shared by YouTuber Jesus Enrique Mazano Ramos, we get to see one exceptionally eerie spiritual happening right in front of our eyes. The CCTV footage provided shows an early morning feed of the empty day surgery service of the hospital. It would appear something very unusual was caught on camera. Let's take a look. 15 seconds into the footage, viewers can see what appears to be a spooky human-like shape appear on the left side of the frame and walk through what appears to be a car park. As the figure walks to the right of shot, it begins to become more and more transparent until it fully fades away into nothingness. Workers in this hospital have stated that these spiritual sightings are quite common in the building and that they believe they're actually souls. As this figure looks like and walks exactly as a human does, could it possibly be a soul that once passed away inside this very hospital?
Félix tiene que salir de dudas.
Redditor Finger Long Jumping 804 uploaded this strange piece of footage in September 2020. It's a video a friend of a friend caught in their home in Utah. At the start of the clip, we see a man and a woman in their kitchen going about their ordinary business. After a few seconds, the woman walks out of view of the camera and the man pulls a trash bag out of the bin to take it out. Just as he turns his back to the camera to take the trash out, something strange happens. Take a look. As you can see, a bizarre black shape streaks across the camera, disappearing before anyone's able to spot it. Although the shape moves quickly, close inspection of the footage seems to suggest the black shape is transparent. Some viewers believe that this is evidence of a shadow person residing in the home. Others have questioned the validity of the video, questioning why the homeowners would have been filming in the first place. However, believers point out that if they had seen something similar before, they may have set up the camera in hopes of capturing it on film. Is this video some sort of elaborate hoax or a genuine recording of a shadow person? Watch the footage and judge for yourself. Museums are a great place to see some incredible art, learn about history, and, according to this footage, possibly see ghosts. This eerie CCTV footage, uploaded to YouTube by Casper Web TV, has left viewers on edge. In the video, viewers see what appears to be a large room in the museum, with two bright lights shining down on the floor. The camera appears to have caught some unusual activity. Take a look. A ghost-like figure appears out of nowhere and strolls over the floor under the lights, where it becomes difficult to make out. As it does this, the turnstiles in the bottom right of the shot appear to spin all on their own. After a few moments, the transparent figure turns around, making itself visible once more, before it walks back to the left of shot, then completely disappears. As this is live CCTV footage, viewers state that they're more likely to believe that this is an actual apparition over something that could have been manipulated or edited. Moreover, there doesn't seem to be anyone else in the room that could explain the arrival of the figure or why the turnstiles appear to move on their own. More importantly, the transparent nature of the figure is certainly mysterious. Give this clip another view and let us know what you think. Nick Wilde via Desdil Masala Zerchu brings us this next video, which is a series of encounters with a paranormal being that relentlessly frightens the family living there. At first, all appears normal within the family kitchen. The videographer talks about the various ghost sightings that have occurred around their home. It isn't long until we discover just what happens in the house. The door to the washing machine opens without anyone touching it. The young man filming attempts to rationalize the encounter, but it isn't long until the microwave opens up as well. Out of nowhere, a chair falls backwards. He quickly calls over his family member to experience the encounters as well, and the chairs begin to fall all around the table. Various items in the cabinets begin to rattle over and over again before suddenly going still. Wildly, one of the cabinets swings all the way open to expose everything inside in a disheveled mess. The family keeps attempting to tidy up the chairs, but the possible poltergeist tips them over again and again. It isn't long before a bottle of water comes flying from a nearby shelf and lands across the floor at the other side of the kitchen. After this happens, the nearby bathroom sink begins to turn itself on and off, and the lighting inside also begins to flicker. While the bathroom's being investigated, a small trash can in the kitchen gets flung about 1 foot forward and hits the outside of the nearby oven. It isn't long before the chairs fall yet again. The family start picking them up, but the spirit immediately flings the chair on the far right in a different direction. A small dustpan clatters to the ground. It's not long after that a nearby bedroom begins to experience power loss. As the family looks up, the lights begin to flicker. Suddenly, all of the lights go out, and the young man screams in terror while taking refuge in the nearby bathroom. Everything turns to black, then suddenly a still image of a mysterious figure appears with glowingly malicious eyes before the video completely cuts out. I'll throw this question out to you. Where would you hide, or what would you do if your family was under attack by a malicious poltergeist? In a series of creepy videos shared by GMA Public Affairs, what initially seems to be a truck rolling with its handbrake off quickly becomes a clip that gets weirder and weirder. The grainy CCTV footage of a private parking lot shows a series of vehicles parked in a line up against a wall. Everything seems normal at first, but then a truck in the middle of the line of vehicles begins slowly backing out of its spot. A close-up of the truck's cab shows that the driver's seat is definitely empty. The footage before and after the incident gives no indication that anyone had entered the lot. Once the truck is all the way out of the space, things get weirder when the door closest to the camera opens all on its own. No one exits the vehicle through the open door. As if this video wasn't creepy enough, viewers and paranormal investigators who have examined the footage closely have pointed out details that make it even weirder. One viewer spotted what appears to be a tall shadow creature pushing the truck from the front grille. Additional viewings by investigators show there's actually a group of 3 shadows in front of the truck. The figures stand in a line in front of the truck but don't seem to be touching it in any way, yet the truck begins to move. It's unclear how exactly these shadowy shapes could be moving the truck. However, the image of these 3 shadows working in tandem is certainly a chilling sight. Love to get your thoughts on this one in the comment section below. The last thing anyone wants to worry about when leaving for a vacation is the security of their home. In this case, the video's uploader and their mother appeared to do everything right, yet when they came back, they found something seriously disturbing on their security camera. Along with the footage that they later posted to the YouTube channel Happy Fox Productions, the pair discovered that a few of their books had toppled to the floor. There was also several thick clumps of cat hair in the hallway, a sign that they believed that their pets had been fighting, even though that's something they don't usually do. Looking for answers, the pair decided to review the security footage to see if it revealed any further information. As the video begins, you can see that the cat on the bed has assumed an unusually attentive posture. It almost looks as if it's been spooked by something it's seen previously. Suddenly, an eerie, disembodied shadow begins moving down the hallway and into the bedroom. Shortly followed by a second cat who almost seems to be trailing the dark figure. Once the cat is inside the room, the door begins to slowly close behind it. Another spooky detail that's easy to miss when viewing the footage for the first time is that the table in the foreground briefly shakes just as the cat enters the room. The camera then begins to pan slowly towards the wall on the right, and this is where the uploader claims to have found it facing upon returning home. Unable to explain this eerie footage, the pair continue to search for answers. Has this security camera actually captured proof of a ghost, or is there another way to explain this mysterious footage? Love to get your opinions on this in the comments section below. Hailing from an unknown source comes a truly terrifying encounter with the spiritual world. While not all spirits are inherently evil, there are definitely those that appear to have malicious intentions. This woman has obviously had her fair share of ghost sightings. After lying down on her sparsely populated bed, the woman shares, through captions added to the video after the encounter, that she couldn't breathe and couldn't move. She attempted to call for help of some kind, but her tongue felt numb. It was impossible for her to speak any words or communicate in general. In the video, we see that she manages to make her way out of the bed, but it isn't long until a terrifying figure rears its ghostly visage. A figure, cloaked entirely in black, begins to lurch upwards and rotate outwards towards the girl. Everything but its face is shrouded in darkness. The face of the apparition is as pale as snow without facial expression. It almost stares at her with a sort of hatred. It doesn't make any noise nor any overly aggressive movements. Perhaps the most terrifying aspect of this ghastly being was the absolute control it had over the poor girl's physical body without even touching her. Have you ever encountered a sleep paralysis demon when trying to get some shut-eye? Love to hear about your experiences in the comments section below. It's rumoured that all kinds of paranormal activity haunt the many theatres around London. As London has such a long history, it's perhaps no surprise that paranormal and poltergeist activity has been reported. One particular theatre, the Victoria Palace Theatre, is said to be especially haunted. Check out this frightening clip, uploaded by the YouTube channel Billy Elliot the Musical. A number of inexplicable occurrences seem to take place. Check it out. At around the 7-second mark, we witness the door to the costume changing room open seemingly of its own accord. It stays open for a few moments before slowly closing again on its own. A little time goes by before we get to see another hair-raising event. One of the model heads on which a wig rests suddenly falls to the ground. Shortly after, a few objects that were on the wig changing table suddenly fall to the ground, right before the clip ends. Dressers of the Victoria Palace Theatre have suggested that the hauntings could be due to one specific person, the early 20th century Russian ballerina Anna Pavlova. While Pavlova was an extremely successful dancer, she was also incredibly superstitious, even afraid to see her own picture on posters. She used to use different entrances than most people to enter the theatre. In the wig room once rested a statue of Pavlova, which was eventually removed during World War II. Present-day dressers believe that Pavlova's spirit continues to haunt the room, causing the random opening and shutting of doors as well as flying wigs and missing props, forever imprinting her own superstitions onto the theatre. Uploaded to YouTube by Mazdafreo, this security camera footage shows another white wispy figure, similar to the two seen in the previous videos. In this instance, it seems the security camera was set up to capture footage of the uploader's driveway late at night. As the footage rolls, a white translucent shape can be seen darting between vehicles on the driveway. At first, the figure seems to be moving as though it isn't quite sure where it's going. If the figure captured in this video is indeed a ghost, its erratic movements could be taken as a sign that it's trying to avoid being detected. If this is the case, then it's unclear whether the figure is making an effort to avoid detection by human eyes, or more likely, the security camera. Regardless, the wispy shape seems to move between the vehicles on the driveway too purposefully to be something as mundane as a speck of dust or an errant ray of light. While many scary ghost videos show figures that appear to float aimlessly down hallways, this shape seems to behave with purpose, as if it's aware of what it's doing. If this security camera really has captured evidence of a ghost, then one has to wonder what it's doing in the area in the first place. Have you ever had a security camera capture something spooky? If so, let me know your experience in the comments section below. There's certainly more than meets the eye in this first video, which shows a child and his father spending a day by the pool. Uploaded to the YouTube channel The Great, this chilling footage presents viewers with a very strange mystery. In the video, the boy's father can be seen on the pool's deck, while the boy, who's holding the camera, jumps into the water. As he leaps, we see a mysterious set of hands reaching out to touch him as he enters the water. The boy, seemingly unaware of the hands, turns back to his father, who's still on the pool's deck. He then turns the camera back on himself in order to give the viewers a thumbs up. You can clearly see that there's no one else in the vicinity. Next, the father takes the camera and jumps into the pool, giving viewers an even better view of the surrounding area. In the video's description, the uploader mentions that he thought he was alone with his child in the pool, while friends played at the other end. Where then did this mysterious set of hands come from? Whoever they belong to seems to have disappeared into thin air. If they were that of a ghost, it suggests that they're a benevolent one. The hands seemingly appear only to help brace the boy's dive before disappearing. So what do you think could be going on in this video? Are the hands really of supernatural origin like the uploader suggests? Or is there actually a way to explain their owner's bizarre disappearance? Love to get your opinions on this one in the comments section below. Tony Ferguson has brought his ghost whispering A game with his new video from the haunted Bodmin jail. This scary video starts out in a location where criminals and various heinous men in history have faced trial and execution. Some believe it's common for spirits to hang around in places of despair such as this. And with so much death in one place, you might expect to see a few eerie entities. This is exactly what happened for Tony and his team. The team of investigators committed to spending nearly the entire afternoon and evening inside of Bodmin jail, keeping their eyes peeled for any supernatural happenings. Although it seemed very quiet for most of the afternoon, once the sun started to set, eerie things began to occur. Everything from strange noises to apparitions started to make their presence known.
Is that moved in front of them? Oh, I saw that.
The ghost whispering endeavour culminated in the creepy appearance of a black cloaked apparition at the end of a hallway. It has what looks like a shaved head and an old school coat that drapes down past its legs. The ghostly figure doesn't look at the crew at all, but rather continues on its way. It seems to move with a purpose. Each fluid step is soundless. Some skeptics think that Ferguson might have dressed up one of his crew to create the footage. However, others have hailed the footage as groundbreaking evidence of an afterlife. But what do you think the cloaked figure was? A modern-day prankster or historical spook? Love to get your opinions on this one in the comments section below. While driving on freeways, we expect to see lots of cars, lights, and long stretches of road. But what about when we see something more sinister on the highway? That's what seemed to happen in this clip, originally posted on I'm Haunted's YouTube page. In the video, we see CCTV footage of a freeway with cars driving by. After a few moments, on the left side of the frame, we see something eerie. We can see what appears to be a mysterious figure resembling a man casually walking across the left side of the road. A couple of seconds after it appears, a big truck drives into frame and seemingly right into the figure. As the truck drives on, we can see the entity again, walking just as it was moments ago. The figure then steps onto the freeway median before disappearing completely. Here it is again, zoomed in and in slow motion. The uploader of this video believes that the ghostly figure could actually be a time traveler from another era exploring the road. Some commentators of the video have disputed this, however, wondering how a time traveler could have walked away unharmed after being hit by a truck. This led to others speculating that it could indeed be a ghost, spirit, or other paranormal being haunting the highway. Give the clip another look and judge for yourself. According to Redditor Best of Us, the bar where they work is almost certainly haunted. Staff regularly experience strange things like items being knocked off the wall, or mysterious voices and bangs that don't seem to have a cause. However, this is the first time they've captured any actual ghostly activity on camera. According to the Redditor, they weren't able to finish all of the cleaning when they closed up Saturday night. The place was closed all day Sunday and Monday, so they came in on Monday evening to do the chores. When they headed behind the bar, they were surprised to see 2 tequila bottles on the ground. The bottles definitely weren't there when they left Saturday night, and no one had been in the bar since then. They decided to check out the CCTV footage to search for an explanation. The video shows the back of the bar dimly lit with the night vision camera. At first, everything is as still as you would expect. However, if you closely watch the bottles on the left side of the screen, you'll notice that one of them starts to slowly edge forward. It eventually tips over the edge of the shelf and crashes into another bottle, sending both clattering to the floor.
See that?
If you slow the footage down, there doesn't appear to be any string or anything else attached that could cause the bottles to move. Although many staff members have had strange experiences at the bar, no one is sure what could be causing them. For now, this ghostly activity remains a mystery.
See that?
The last thing most people would expect when they go to the gym is to be spooked by something supernatural. However, this video uploaded to Instagram by Paranormal shows that we should all take a good look around us next time we decide to hit the weights. In the video, we see a woman performing an exercise when suddenly something bizarre happens. Take a look. The handle on the chain next to her begins to rise. Startled, the woman leaps to the ground and quickly moves away. If you zoom in on the chain, you can clearly see the handle lifting into the air, almost as though it's being moved by an invisible hand. It hovers mysteriously for a second before dropping suddenly. There doesn't appear to be a string attached either. This is certainly a very strange clip. There's nobody near the chain that could explain its strange movements. This begs the question, what is manipulating the chain? Could it really be a ghost? Whatever the reason, this video will surely remind you to keep an eye out for cheeky poltergeists next time you hit the gym. Urban exploration is a common source for truly scary videos, as more and more brave explorers take on the challenge of visiting some of the world's most haunted locations. In this video, YouTuber Terra El Extremo visits an abandoned hospital in Tlatelolco, Mexico that many believe is haunted. Hospitals are a common target for urban explorers. In a place where many people live out the final moments of their lives, it isn't surprising that abandoned hospitals are often hotbeds of paranormal activity. There have been numerous reports of inexplicable supernatural events at this particular site, including the apparition of a young girl. The video we're about to show is riddled with eerie activity. The group sets out to investigate. To start things off, a subtle dark figure can be seen in a hallway adjacent to where the group is exploring. As the figure's so far away, it's hard to tell if it's something supernatural, or perhaps just another person exploring the abandoned building, or even a homeless person seeking shelter. But then, as the camera pans back to the host of the video, something unnerving happens. Keep an eye on the doorway just behind the man's right shoulder. If you slow the footage down, an eerie black shadow passes by the doorway, unbeknownst to the group filming. Seconds later, it passes by again. Later in the video, the group explores the rooftop of the building. The cameraman decides to poke the camera through a gap in a doorway that leads to a room that they don't have access to. Check out what the camera captures. There, standing at the back of the inaccessible room, is a solid black entity. If you slow it down, there's no defining features. It's just a solid black form staring at the camera. As the team investigates further, they begin hearing strange sounds. At first, you can hear some local kids playing somewhere in the distance. But then, a slightly more eerie noise comes from the room at the end of the hall. Take a listen. What makes this scream so chilling is that the team goes to find its source in the room ahead, but they find no one. Later, in a darkened hallway, they hear even more terrifying sounds. Listen. If you play it back, at first it sounds like a wounded animal. But the moans that follow sound distinctly human. As if this wasn't enough to brown your trousers and leave immediately, the crew musters up the courage to press on. That's when one of the voices perhaps says the name Harry. It's very clearly a woman's voice, but the nearby rooms are completely empty. The group calls out to make contact with the person in the dark, but they don't respond. They continue to hear muffled voices talking and the sound of an object being thrown, yet the group never encounters another person in the building. At one point, it sounds like someone saying, "Shh." Again, there's no one in any of the rooms. The cherry that tops this trouser-soiling adventure is yet to come. At around the 58-minute mark, as the group start to wind down the video, keep an eye on the back of the hallway. If you slow it down, you can see another solid black entity crawl past. The group seems to have no idea. This clip has garnered a lot of attention within the paranormal community. With so much activity caught in just one video, the episode has been scrutinized and analyzed frame by frame. Some think that a lot of the encounters can be chalked up to homeless people using the building as a shelter. But with so many voices, noises, and visuals backed up by endless empty rooms with no one in sight, it's hard to tell what's real and what's not. And that's not to mention the strange black entities seen in rooms that you can't even get access to. All in all, this is truly a mysterious video. It goes for well over an hour and is packed with strange events, some of which we couldn't even fit in this episode. It's well worth a watch on its own, and as always, there's links in the description box below.
Otra vez.
The old 2L hospital in Utah has long been said to be a hotbed for paranormal activity. Now known as Asylum 49, this haunted attraction continues to scare those brave enough to step foot on the premises. In this video, uploaded to YouTube by Ogden Paranormal, a group of investigators decide to visit the building to see if they can witness something supernatural for themselves. While part of the group conduct a tour of the facility, 2 investigators remain behind to set up cameras and lighting.
Like a whisper from across the hall.
The pair sit quietly in the darkness as they wait for the others to return. Suddenly, they hear whispering and other scary sounds coming from the other side of the hall. Bravely, they decide to investigate. As the pair enter one of the rooms, the first thing that will no doubt grab your attention is the unbelievably creepy mannequin. It has a weird, deformed head, its arms are outstretched, and it appears to be wearing a hospital gown. The combination of its soulless eyes and creepy grin are surely enough to spook even the most seasoned of paranormal investigators. While the mannequin provides the initial scare, it's what the pair capture on camera that will likely send chills down your spine. A dark, shadowy shape actually seems to move away from the window.
Yeah, I know, I told that lady that.
If you slow the footage down, you can see that there does indeed appear to be something there. You're even able to make out the shape of its head, neck, and shoulders. As the investigators move closer, the silhouette disappears. Suddenly, one of the investigators feels pressure on the back of their knees for no explainable reason.
Right here. It just like felt like something like, you know, a little kid will come up and just like grab your hand on you.
Could it be related to the mysterious shadowy figure that seemed to vanish seconds earlier? Abandoned hospitals are often thought to house the spirits of former patients, and they provide popular locations for paranormal investigators to explore. So what do you think this pair managed to capture on camera? A ghost or shadow person perhaps? Or could there be another explanation for this creepy video? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below.
I know, I told that lady that.
The YouTube channel Pasillo Infinito delivers another amazing encounter. This hospital seems to have some supernatural beings living within its walls. The video opens up with a view of the hospital hallway, and at first there doesn't appear to be anything amiss. Seconds later, out of nowhere, the lid of the nearby garbage can begins to spin. It turns and turns before stopping at an odd angle. The videographer is startled and jumps back, but before they're able to compose themselves, they encounter yet another apparition. There isn't anything they can do but shiver as what appears to be a ghost with long hair runs across the hallway. There isn't a lot of time to catch her in her sprint, but one can easily make out the body of a woman. The long hair is black and frizzy with a healthy bounce that mirrors her steps while she maneuvers her way across the hall. Nothing else is moving. There's something about the situation that screams "get out," but the camera holder remains. It isn't until it appears as though the apparition won't make an encore debut that they continue on. Do you think hospitals are more prone to hauntings? Love to get your thoughts on this mysterious piece of footage in the comments section below. It's thought that paranormal entities can take on all types of different shapes and forms. One of the most common is the shape of a shadow figure, or a dark entity that resembles a shadow. In this instance, viewers can see a possible shadow figure taking on the manifestation of a circular black mass. YouTuber Hidden World has shared this clip, which has made the employees of this office want to give it a double look. The first 25 seconds of the video is still footage of an office space, with a couch, a couple of desks, and a chair. It's after the 30-second mark, however, that something bizarre is caught on camera. We can see a small black mass appear near the doorway of the office space. The mass slowly hovers up from the floor before suddenly moving over the desk and chair and turning into a strange mist. The clip is played twice more with a focus on the strange shape as it moves over the desk. What's particularly odd about this shadow figure is its transformation from a solid black shape to being nearly transparent in just a second. We can only hope this dark figure had innocent intentions. This is an OG ghost video from back in the day that's still full of eerie vibes. It was posted to YouTube by Electricaman. Not much is known about this footage from 2006. It appears to show a ghost hunting expedition in an old abandoned basement. According to the video's description, the clip was recorded using an infrared camera that allows footage to be captured in a pitch black room. At the start of the footage, the camera pans around, focusing on a set of stairs leading to the building's main level. Just as the camera films the top of the stairs, something very eerie happens. Take a look.
Hello?
If you take another look, a strange white blur moves past the opening at the top of the stairs. What is this strange figure?
Hold still for a second.
In slow motion, it becomes even more apparent. The blur is white and mostly transparent, making it difficult to identify. On closer examination, some viewers have suggested that the blur is the spirit of a little girl. The camera remains focused on the spot where the girl appeared. A few seconds later, 2 black spots appear on the doorway, almost as if the ghost has placed its hands on the door jamb to peek back down the stairs, casting 2 small shadows. The footage from the infrared camera is blurry, but there certainly seems to be something unexplainable happening in this allegedly haunted location. However, without knowing exactly where the footage was filmed, the truth remains a mystery.
Hello?
New from the organisation Azteca America, which is known for reporting on more than just ghost sightings, comes an encounter with the spiritual world. Upon investigating a local schoolhouse that's been abandoned, the team quickly discovers that there are a lot of markings that couldn't have been made by humans. The stairway looks as though there's been claws scraping at it, and there have been a lot of reports of eerie figures wandering in the shadows and around the windows from outside. The team of young investigators begins to film the area in hopes of finding something that would confirm or deny any hauntings. It isn't until early in the morning that they encounter what appears to be proof of something terrifying. There isn't a lot to see at first. A figure appears that almost looks like one of the young investigators. It isn't until everyone realizes that the ghostly apparition is transparent that they understand what they're dealing with. If you slow the footage down, there is indeed something standing there. It looks to be a young girl wearing a long white dress. It took the news crew a lot of time to review the tapes to catch the exact moment after the fact. It's enough to send shivers down your spine. Usually parents use baby monitors to watch over their little ones in case they begin to cry, shift around, or express other types of discomfort. But what about when a parent notices something happening nearby the baby that is not explained by any usual behaviour? That's exactly what happened to YouTuber Dad's Always Right when he saw something on his baby monitor that gave him the chills. In the brief clip, a baby sleeps soundly in a baby carriage, snuggled up in blankets, when suddenly something eerie happens. The bear slowly turns sideways, seemingly all by itself. It stops a couple of seconds later, seemingly looking directly into the camera as the clip ends. Teddy bears and dolls moving all by themselves have been the plot points for countless horror films and TV shows. Usually in these films, the stuffed animals and dolls have sinister intentions, bringing death and destruction to the humans around them. Thankfully, this baby's dad and his child haven't experienced any harm. Still, the fact that the teddy bear stopped moving as soon as it was facing the camera certainly leaves viewers of the video with an unsettling feeling in the pit of their stomachs. Now, if you love mysterious videos, then check out the rest of our catalogue. There's an episode right there. Otherwise, there's a massive paranormal playlist there you can binge on. Now, if you love what we do here at Slapped Ham, then consider supporting us through a YouTube membership. There's a little join button there that lists all the perks of our channel. And that's it for me. I'll see you all next time.